If Beyonce wants to save her reputation, she's gonna have to divorce Jay-Z immediately, especially after his name has been popping up in the Epstein documents. Now that the full files have been released, Jay-Z has fled the country, as his mother-in-law, Tina Knowles, his longtime friend, Rihanna, and big-time brands like Apple Music and the NFL, who he organizes the halftime show for, unfollowed him on social media. Everyone is starting to turn against Jay-Z, which is why he's now in hiding for good.
We have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Let's Get Into It podcast. We have a lot to talk about today. I've got updates on the Kardashians. I want to talk to you guys about Kanye West's diagnosis. Sydney Sweeney is finding herself in some criminal trouble, but I have to kick off this episode by talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z, because if Beyonce does not divorce this man, then she's going to cancel herself. Let's get into Jay-Z. If this doesn't look guilty, I don't know what does, because Jay-Z reportedly left the United States after he was mentioned in one of the Epstein files. This also resulted in Beyonce losing 10 million followers on social media. As you guys know, the US government has been releasing some of the files tied to the Epstein case, and Jay-Z's name happened to be there. I just know Beyonce and her team are pissed off because 10 million followers leaving her page is a lot of money walking out the door. Merch sales, possible concerts. A lot of her loyal fan base is turning on her. This tweet reads, "You read that right. The recent release of the Epstein files might be the final draw for Jay-Z's reputation. Now, even his mother-in-law, Miss Tina Knowles, is trying to save face with virtue signaling an unfollow on Instagram." One person wrote that social media distancing speaks volumes. When even close family and major brands hit unfollow, the optics around Jay-Z are clearly shifting fast.
There is a very long list of A-list celebrities that have unfollowed Jay-Z after the Epstein files released yesterday, which included his name. And one of those people, well, I guess 2 specifically, that unfollowed Jay-Z were Apple Music and NFL. Now, what's specifically important about that is Apple Music and NFL are the ones that help Jay-Z select the artist for the Super Bowl halftime performance. From my knowledge, Jay-Z plays a pretty large role in the selection of the artist for the Super Bowl. And now that, NFL and Apple Music does not follow him, I'm very curious to see what that could mean for the future of the Super Bowl halftime performance selection.
It is interesting. I mean, his mother-in-law, Tina Knowles, unfollowed him. Kim Kardashian unfollowed him. Rihanna unfollowed him. Apple Music, NFL unfollowed him. All of these brands are turning on Jay. And because of all this, Jay-Z has now supposedly left the country to an undisclosed location, which makes sense to me. I mean, he's clearly got something to hide, and he's trying to get out of here before he ends up like P. Diddy. Now, the claims are this woman says she was essayed by a movie producer, Harvey Weinstein, at Jeffrey Epstein mansion while Jay-Z looked on. This happened in 1996, and the victim's name is redacted. She claims she was abducted from her home by a stranger. She later woke up in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z while Weinstein had inserted his fingers. Ugh, God. We don't even need to go there. It's fascinating to me because Jay-Z has positioned himself as one of the most powerful men in the music industry, kind of like Harvey Weinstein was in the movie industry. And I feel like they could end up having a similar fate. So yeah, I can understand why Jay-Z wanted to get out of the US very quickly. There are some people in the comments dragging Beyonce into this. I mean, there's a reason why she lost 10 million followers. One person wrote, "Beyonce is not innocent." Jaguar Wright, "We're going to win soon, girl," which shout out to Jaguar Wright. We've talked about her a bunch on the main channel, and she's been talking about Diddy and Jay-Z and all these people for so long, and people love to dismiss her and call her crazy, but damn, Jaguar, you really have been right this entire time. I remember like the Carters, they were actually trying to sue Jaguar when she went on to Piers Morgan, and she was making some claims that like Jay-Z's worse than Diddy is, and now it's starting to seem like she was on to something.
I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane.
One person wrote, the bigger question is, why did TMZ take down the story? Another person said that 50 Cent is ready. I'm sure he is, especially with that documentary that he made about Diddy on Netflix. Nicki Minaj, love her or hate her, a lot of people hate her right now, but she decided to insert herself, and she made some really damning claims about Beyonce and Jay-Z, accusing them of like child trafficking. Nicki wrote, are you guys understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat, again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. Okay, I guess she's talking about the Carters here. You know, Nicki is a lot of bit confusing nowadays. These are actually images that accompany her tweet about sacrificing. And you can see right here, there's Aaliyah, who died in that tragic plane accident. Only 15 years old whenever a 26-year-old Jay-Z got connected with her. She said, your favorite artists have been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. This literally has me scared because it sounds like Illuminati and conspiracies and everything that we've been, called like, I guess, phonies for believing in. It looks like it's true. She said they sabotaged my documentary because I spoke about the stuff that she had gone through. They've been trying to sell all my projects in hopes I would lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. Their leaders still think it's a joke. The deconstruction is about to come down on them, and it isn't funny. I told y'all to leave me alone. Again, she's sharing a picture of her and Jay-Z, blaming Jay-Z for a lot of her downfall. And she actually has been doing that for like a few months now, that since she's been kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say unwell, but we'll just end there. Let's get into Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian has such a weird relationship with this brand Fabletics. I'm sure you've heard of it before because it's been around forever, but as someone who has multiple brands, I don't quite understand why she's doing ads like this, and so many people are confused as to why she's like doing this ad in the first place. Like, it's just kind of awkward. She's just, what was that? We might have to blur that for YouTube. One person said the Kardashians and the BBL personalities are insufferable. Do they have anything about them besides their BBL? People on Reddit are not happy. That one shot with a close-up of her behind is diabolical. When my mom was here in Los Angeles, she wanted to go to the Century City Mall because they have a Good American store there, and she wanted to see Khloe Kardashian's jeans, maybe get a pair. Spoiler, she did not get a pair. Anyways, but they were really soft. They're kind of like sweatshirts. But anyways, we went to the store and it seems like a nice business and whatever. I mean, Khloe is all over the place, but if you look at her social media, you'll see that she doesn't really like advertise the brand anymore. Even if you go to like her Instagram bio, she doesn't include like links to Good American. She includes links to Fabletics, which isn't her brand. Well, it turns out that this woman named Emma, who is a really successful business like entrepreneur, is actually the person who really kind of owns this brand. At the end of the day, Khloe was kind of like the face of it, the influencer for it, but she's the one who created it, and she also is a part of Skims, and she's obviously very successful.
I think Khloe Kardashian has left her brand Good American. She hasn't done a grid post about Good American since August 2024, so it's been a year and 4 months since she's posted about the brand on her main feed. Meanwhile, she has been promoting her collaboration with Fabletics heavily. It seems as though there's been a rift between Khloe and Emma Grede. Emma, for those who don't know, is the person who owns and runs Good American. Khloe unfollowed Emma on Instagram, and I wonder if Khloe might have felt a bit used in the sense that before Emma went into business with Khloe, she was working a normal job, obviously very successful in her own right, but it was more of a day-to-day job. Khloe was then essentially used as a guinea pig. She was the first Kardashian to front a Grede managed brand, and because it worked well in the beginning, Kim signed on to be the face of another brand, and the rest is history.
It's so crazy to me how the business world is just so phony sometimes. But Kim Kardashian recently went onto Khloe's podcast to speak about her sleepover with Britney Spears, stating that she wanted to have some girl time. Cade was also there. Cade is a former agent, and I say this every time, but he's extremely problematic because he got fired from the industry because he used his position as an agent to go and get some guys to do things with him, if that makes sense. Allegedly, that's what it said. I think it was like Rolling Stone that reported on it. So it's a really legit publisher, but he's the guy who's pretty much running Britney's life. He also does have a connection to the Kardashians, which is why Khloe gave him a shout out for arranging this little sleepover.
about how Brittany ended up in bed with us.
She is just a doll.
She's the
she's like the
nicest.
sweetest girl. And so, yeah, her manager, Cade,
Shout out to Cade.
has connected us, and she wanted to come over, and we hung. And I've met her a few times before, and she's just really sweet and wanted some girl time.
It's crazy how that like went out of control. That story. It was like the
What
most
went out of
innocent.
control?
No, just like it was everywhere that we were having this crazy sleepover. I'm like, it's just girls being girls.
I am so thankful that the general public is informed as far as like Britney Spears' situation went with Liam Taylor, TriStar Sports and Entertainment, Kate Hudson. Like Liam Taylor is very close to the Kardashians, and she hates when I say this. She's sent me cease and desist letters for this before, but it was reported by like Us Weekly or one of those publications again that she was labeled the mastermind of the conservatorship. It was her idea, and it's her fault that Britney was put into that position. She also allegedly tried to do the same thing to Lindsay Lohan and, Amanda Bynes' situation as well. That was kind of Sam Lufty though. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Britney Spears' old manager, Sam Lufty, and that phone call I have with him. That's like, I have like a 2-hour long phone call that I recorded with him long time ago, and it never saw the light of day, and it probably won't ever, unless you guys, no, let's not even go there. This comment reads, was it like her Make-A-Wish or something? So weird. I don't buy this. Run, Britney, run. They took Britney's money. I don't trust them. You can tell Kim is slowly lying. Another person pointed out that all roads lead to Lou Taylor, the business manager who ruined Britney's life. Trust me, starting something new is exciting, but it also can be overwhelming. Like, before you launch a business, there are so many questions running through your mind. Like, what if I get stuck? What if no one finds my brand? What if I do all of this work and nothing pays off? Well, if you want to get ahead of those moments before they even begin, then you need Shopify on your side. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and it powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From major household names to brands that are just getting started, Shopify helps turn ideas into business. I love their AI built-in tools too, because they can help you write product descriptions, product headlines, even enhance product photos. Because I might be a YouTuber, but I am not a photographer, so it helps. And if you ever get stuck, Shopify has award-winning 24/7 customer support ready to help. From inventory management to payments to shipping, returning, any issue you have, they got you. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing those. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Sloan. That is shopify.com/Sloan. Again, shopify.com/Sloan. Thank you, Shopify, for sponsoring this episode, and enjoy. Let's get into Ray J. Before we get into Ray J's topic, I need to do a quick little prayer. Like, I hope that Ray J makes it through okay, because he supposedly only has months to live. So, like, amen. I hope you make it through. This headline says, Beridden Ray J reveals his intense treatment plan after claiming he has months to live. Ray J does love to go and troll the public. I remember he was going around Florida telling people that he was homeless. But on January 6th, he went to the hospital for pneumonia and heart pains, which is interesting. Every time I hear pneumonia, I think of oh my God, who was it? Of Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, and how she like mysteriously died of pneumonia at like 40 years old. And keep in mind, like Ray J's 45. Ray J acknowledged that his health is not okay, but he's grateful for everyone who rallied behind him during this difficult time, shouting out Brandy, which honestly, I can't believe Brandy even gives him the time of day anymore. But you know what? It's his sister, so I'm glad she came through for him.
Shout out to Brandy for looking out for me. She paid my bills for me. For the rest of the year. My sister paid my bills for the rest of the year.
He said he was informed by his medical team that he only has a few months to live, saying that 2027 is definitely a wrap for me, which, I mean, not to be technical, but like 2027 is like, more than a few months away. So maybe next year is when he's planning on this this disease taking over. What does he even have? Oh, Ray J says that he effed up his heart on the right side, adding that it's like black. It's like gun, which is very scary. He said, I think I thought I had more weight. I thought I was a big shot, so I could handle all the alcohol. I could handle the Adderall, I could handle the drugs, but I couldn't, and it curbed my time here. Doctors have advised Ray J to remain on bed rest, taking Jardins and Inestrio medications for people at high risk of heart failure. Oh my gosh. Breathe, son. I feel like my heart, my chest starts getting tightened up, like just even hearing about this. It looks like he's also considering traveling to Haiti. Shout out to Haiti for treatment. I didn't know they had great treatment out there, but I guess they do. Noting that he may get a pacemaker or a defibrillator sometime soon, but he does not know. Which, like, all, like, you know, Ray J's nonsense aside and everything, this is really sad and disturbing. He also has children, so I just feel really bad that he's going through this situation. And it's a warning sign to a lot of people who are out here, like, partying it up every day, that it will catch up with you.
2027 is definitely a wrap for me.
No, don't say that, brother. Don't say that.
That's what the doctor
No,
said.
the doctor. No,
Alright,
don't say
fuck
that.
them.
Because when you say that, you're confirming what the doctor
That's
said.
what Jay said. I don't give a
No. Them.
But
Fuck what they said, brother. You're
guess
gonna live
what?
long.
Guess what?
You're gonna live long to see your children grow up.
I think I thought I was a bigger, like I had more weight. I thought I was a big, so I'm like, I can handle all the alcohol, like I handle all the Adderall, I can handle all the drugs, I can handle everything, but I couldn't.
Right now, Ray J, on top of like potentially dying, can't even see his children due to a criminal protective order. Remember, he whipped out that gun. I think it was around like Thanksgiving time, and things got so messy. He was arrested, but released on this same day with a $50,000 bail. Let's get into Ashley Tisdale. So Ashley Tisdale is being messier than ever out here hanging out with Hilary Duff's sister. Remember, Ashley was in a friend group with Hilary Duff, Mandy Moore, and supposedly they were toxic women. Well, Hilary and Haley have a long history and it's not pretty. They do not like each other. It goes down to political differences. And now Ashley over here is befriending like Haley to spite Hilary. Like, Ashley is the most like toxic high school acting one of them all, but she joined Haley Duff, and honestly, I love to see the drama. The playdate has fans raising some eyebrows considering the mom group drama that blew up earlier this month. And you guys know Haley Duff's brother-in-law, Matthew Cuomo, Hilary Duff's husband, threw some shade towards Ashley, so it is interesting how personal this all gets. It's a small world out here, especially in Hollywood.
Ashley Tisdale, I don't think aligning yourself with Haley Duff is going to beat those MAGA allegations. I feel as if we have lived so many lives since Ashley's infamous fallout with the mom group, and she continues to find herself on the wrong side of history. I'm really starting to think that Ashley is the problem here.
People in the comments are even messier than Ashley is. One person said that they're comparing notes. One person said high school type drama, too old for that. That's what I'm saying. I'm starting to think that Ashley was the problem in the mom group. And another person said that this is not helping the MAGA allegations. Let's get into Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney has gotten so tacky lately, and you know what? I don't like to call anyone names, and I am a man over here. I'm not going to speak down on a woman. I'm not going to say that she's a trashy person. I think that can, you know, you guys can figure that out for yourselves. Oh my God, I can't. But anyways, Sydney Sweeney recently went up to the Hollywood sign to go throw some of her cheap bras all over the H to promote the lingerie line. Remember, this is a project that she has been working on with Jeff Bezos. She's such a sellout, but people were criticizing her because she went out in the middle of the night to go and trash the Hollywood sign with her cheap bras. So if you see any coyotes in the hills out here wearing a cheap little Sydney Sweeney bra, that is why. It is so childish. It's almost as childish as Ashley Tisdale's mom drama, but take a look at this video.
Good job.
It just isn't likable. Like, I feel like I like when PR goes down, some good like PR, some like setup, but it's like likable. like not vandalizing the Hollywood sign. So is rage baiting her whole brand now? Yikes. One person asked, does she hate her PR people or do they hate her or is it mutual? She's insufferable. Charge her ass. One person said that she so aggressively lacks the ability to read the room. To go and film at the Hollywood sign, you actually need some paperwork. And Sydney did get a permit to go and film by Film LA to go shoot there. I guess Film LA controls whether you could film there or not. It's also a problem when it comes to advertising. Like, you can't just use the Hollywood sign in your own advertising. She did not have permission to touch or climb on the sign itself, and she did that. So it looks like she could actually find herself in criminal trouble. Could you imagine her mugshot? I fear that she probably would look really good in it. There was an email sent actually from the team that called her out for getting onto the sign, filming it, using it to promote a lingerie brand, and honestly just disrespecting a monument out here. I don't know why this bothers me. Maybe because like I do live in LA. Hollywood sign is like iconic. Like, I don't want Sydney Sweeney's dirty, I mean, just kidding, her cheap bras like over here. And then the coyotes, I'm telling you, those coyotes have been out in the streets. I live here, so I follow the blogs. I see all the coyotes out here, and I swear if I see them in some, pink lacy, double D cup, whatever, something wrapped around their back, or at worst choking one of them, I'm going to be coming for you, Miss Sydney Sweeney. I can't get over that visual though. It's like my first thought was like the coyotes. Like, they better not get into those bras. You guys know Scooter Braun is her boyfriend, and he's built a lot of big mega stars. And I do wonder, did he have a part in this? Like, I hope he did not give her this advice, because maybe he's trying to work against her. Somebody on Reddit said Scooter told her it was a good idea. And you know what? I guess it was a good idea. She ended up selling out on her website. She sold out of her lingerie, and it's doing very well. And the rich are getting richer. Sydney Sweeney is getting even more rich, even though she's been a mess lately. But, good for her for breaking the internet. Obviously, she knows something that I do not. Let's get into Kanye West. Kanye West recently released a new album, and he's trying so hard to get back into the mainstream and using every excuse in the book. The problem is I kind of believe his excuses. Like, he opened up about his bipolar disorder, how he got into this car accident that left him with a traumatic brain injury. He blames this car crash that happened about 25 years ago that almost took his life, and it left, I guess, damage to his frontal lobe, and he claims that he has bipolar because of it. I've actually never even heard, I never knew that, like, you can get into a car accident and develop bipolar. Like, I don't know why I did not know that. I guess it makes sense, because if you can get into a car accident and have like brain damage, and sure, I just didn't know. Like, I guess if you can get into a car accident and get anxiety. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. The trauma of it all. He said he lost touch with reality. Things got worse the longer I ignored the problem. And I said and did things I deeply regret. It does not excuse what I did, though. I'm not a Nazi or anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. He later addressed the Black community, saying that it was the foundation of who he is, and he's sorry that he let them down. Probably extra sorry because he's got this new album out and he is a flop. People aren't paying attention to him, and it might just be a little too late, even with the sob story.
So Kanye West apologized to the Jewish community and to quote, "those I've hurt." And on the surface, it looks like a sincere apology, right? It says all the right things. It says, it talks about his like mental illness and his like brain injury and like all those things. And it's like, world's smallest violin. Like, it seems like on the surface sincere, right? I'm going to say something about this. That apology is a ChatGPT apology, top to bottom. Top to bottom. That man did not write any of that apology.
One person asked a great question in the comments. Has he apologized to his family first? He's been completely absent from, 3/4 of his children's lives. He hangs out with North. She recently performed with him. But yeah, they deserve an apology. And honestly, hard take, but Kim deserves one too. One person asked, so he miraculously healed from this injury, like in a year? Which is a great question. Is he just like on medication now? I know people who have bipolar disorder, they just take like medication on the regular. Maybe he's being maintained, but if it goes down to the brain injury, I wonder how that works. One person said an album or tour must be coming, which is completely correct. He has his album named Bully, which is actually inspired by his son being a bully to other kids at school. One person said, oh, he's medicated again. This cycle will repeat again. Just watch.
Apology not accepted. Never will be accepted. And you might as well stop trying to apologize because no thanks. What, does he have a new album coming out now or something? I also think it's hilarious that he had to apologize with an ad because presumably no journalist would talk to this man or give him any free press. So he had to pay for press in order to apologize.
To give you guys some context about Kanye West's crash, it happened in 2002. It was October 23rd. It was late at night, 3 a.m. He had rented this Lexus and he was leaving a studio session where he fell asleep at the wheel and he crashed into an oncoming car. So like head on. It shattered his jaw into 3 pieces and caused nasal fractures. It also looks like the other driver suffered broken legs, a broken pelvis, and other severe injuries. Actually, Kanye went into emergency surgery at the hospital in West Hollywood and he ended up recovering. He actually recorded his debut single Through the Wire with his jaw still wired.
Nearly lose your life to nearly lose your mouth, your voice as a career as a rapper, your face. You know, I had to be on TV. My face looks crazy to me now. Y'all probably look at it and think it's normal, but I feel very self-conscious about certain things. Look how my mouth, like, it looks like you can't even see my bottom teeth when I talk. Like, you always see the top teeth, and that's not how I used to be.
Let's get into Nicola Peltz and Brooklyn Beckham. Did you guys see what Nicola's parents pay her every month? Her allowance has me, I'm actually sweating. I'm starting to sweat right now. You're telling me that her net worth is about $50 million because her parents give her $1 million a month. And Nicola lives in this completely different world where she gets all this money, she's got all this privilege, and she almost like looks down on her other rich Nepo baby friends. Like, your parents don't give you $1 million. Supposedly, this even happened in the Beckham household.
Nicola's billionaire daddy told David and Victoria Beckham, I give my daughter $1 million a month. Why don't you give Brooklyn $1 million a month? Allegedly. The podcast went on to talk about how Victoria and David Beckham give Brooklyn money, but they hope that he can stand on his own 2 feet and would do something on his own, so they don't give him $1 million a month.
And that makes sense. Like, I can understand why the Beckhams would want their son to go and build something for himself. But, you know, Nicola is so rich that idea is so foreign. It's like, wait, why would I go do that when I've got so much? It's endless. Money, so the saying goes, is the root of all evil. Certainly in the case of the Beckhams versus the Peltzes. It's proven tricksy, an insider says. David and Victoria are 2 working class kids done good. They've crafted hard for their money and understand that with privilege comes responsibility. On the other hand, like Nicola's family, they've been born into this rich money. So, you know, Nicola doesn't know what it's like to go and perform like a Spice Girl, to go and get her bag, or to be David Beckham and go kick that ball into that goal. And it's not like Brooklyn really has much going for him either. Sorry, Brooklyn. He's tried to be like a chef. He's trying to be an Instagram chef. I will never forget that clip of Brooklyn Beckham going on to national television to make a breakfast sandwich, like the most basic breakfast sandwich I've ever seen in my life.
Bacon and then the egg.
Okay.
The moon's over my hammy.
Yeah. No, wait, what about the ketchup?
Right
ketchup.
Oh,
very nice.
The ketchup.
That's a good touch.
Right on top of the
Yeah,
egg. It actually, it's great.
A little sweetness. Okay, hold on. Oh, look what he does.
So I don't normally do that, but like,
yeah.
I always like to squish it down a little bit.
Squish it down, he says.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a bite.
Wow.
Oh my God, Brooklyn. Come on.
That's an easy bite.
Come on.
Let's get into Luigi Mangione. Now, a man poses as an FBI agent to try to free Luigi from jail. It looks like people are still riding hard for Luigi. I get it. He is hot. He's a very, very beautiful the specimen, right? A Minnesota man was arrested after showing up Wednesday night at a federal jail claiming to be an FBI agent. He had an order from a judge to release an inmate, and that was Luigi. And they're probably like, what the hell? Like, Luigi's not going anywhere. This guy named Mark Anderson, I don't know what is up with him. Does he have like a crush on Luigi? It's like, once you get him out, Mark, it's not like he's all yours. You don't get to just take him. But he created all these fake credentials and went to the jail. And he also had weapons in a bag that he was carrying. If I was a Luigi in that situation, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to go with this Mark guy. Like, I will stay in my cell. Inside the bag was a barbecue fork and a steel blade that looked like a pizza cutter. Barbecue and pizza? It's got me hungry. But it looks like he got into it with officers and ultimately he did not get his boy Luigi out. Let's get into Ryan Seacrest. So people are worried about Ryan Seacrest. It seems like he's he's been hitting that Ozempic. And I'm actually truly worried about this guy. Ryan Seacrest, he's been around forever, but he's just been I hate to like pick on his appearance because I think it's the same thing as picking on like a woman. It's like I don't want to be like, oh, like she looks like, or he looks like some type of way, but this report is saying that he looks gaunt. Okay, so we'll go with gaunt. And he does look thin. I think Ryan is very particular. He wants to be very pretty. He wants to be very young. It's probably hard for him to accept that he's getting older. He's a forever twink is how I kind of look at him. So maybe this is kind of by choice. He wants to be very thin to appear younger. It's just maybe not giving what what you would think. People are asking for the real Ryan Seacrest to step forward. One person said it doesn't even sound like Ryan, never mind looking like him. Some people are saying he's just older, but he does seem different. Last year, Ryan did admit to over-exercising, eating better, and over-training ahead of turning 50. He said, I'm doing everything I can to feel like I'm not 50. Anything I can do to make myself feel 29 again. Oh my God. Oh, he got me stressed out. Like, okay, so he's really trying to hold on to his youth. That's what I'm saying. Ryan Seacrest, you are that blueprint of a forever twink. Let's get into Cardi B. Cardi B went through that case whenever her album was coming out, and it was a big deal. And honestly, the timing was great because we got these good clips of Cardi B being funny in court while we also had her album coming out. It was a great mix, but there was a moment where one of the lawyers asked her about gang affiliations, which I guess was completely uncalled for and something that Cardi has like gone back on and told the judge like, hey, that was not cool. And the judge actually fined the lawyer for doing this. It's crazy getting hit with a $1,500 fine just for asking the question. So I guess we will never know. Is she part of the gangs or not? I mean, I don't even want to talk about the gangs. I have no problems with none of them. You all do you. I'm going to just do me over here. I don't know what any symbols mean or anything. I'm just in my black Sloan sweatshirt, which actually comment below, we're getting into the spring and summertime somewhat. I mean, I know it's probably snow on the ground where some of you guys are, but I want to design a new Sloan shirt. But I need inspiration. People tell me in the comments below, what are you thinking? But that lawyer in Cardi's case was a mess. One person wrote that Timu ass lawyer, he was a mess. Here's a clip of some of those interactions.
Ain't you supposed to be security?
Tell it to her now, go ahead.
Huh?
Say it again. Say objection, Your Honor.
You want me to say it to her
I want
face?
you to tell it to her face what you said on that day so she can hear it for herself.
The objection is sustained.
And, Your Honor, do we have civility in the courthouse?
Why don't we just take the temperature down a little bit? If you have factual questions to ask her, please do so. It's not the time to argue with her.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair? Or are they both real?
They're wigs.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that.
I am Team Cardi B all the way, but I want to hear what you guys think of this episode of the Let's Get Into It podcast in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? We are on video right now on Spotify. So if you go on to Spotify, I am uploading the video versions and I'm having it go up there. I love it. Please go like it. Even if you're watching on here, just go like it, or leave a comment or something, some interaction, I could really help. I also have a channel I've been posting my TikToks on. I know a lot of people don't use TikToks. So if you do watch shorts, it's called Sloan Spills, but it's my page where I've been posting a lot of my TikToks onto YouTube. I'm also on Snapchat as well. Snapchat finally gave me a verified page. So a lot of things are happening on social media. If you're not following me on short form, then you are missing out on a lot, especially some of the hot tea that I've been spilling on TikTok. Whew. You guys, I get 4 million views on a video. I'm like, oh my gosh, who am I? But I love you guys. This podcast is where my heart is at, my soul, and let me know what you want to talk about next. But the Jay-Z stuff, crazy, right? Bye, guys.